Welcome to online classes. In last class we studied about symmetric and skew symmetric matrices. In today's class we will study about elementary operations. There are totally 6 elementary operations, out of which 3 are due to rows and the other 3 due to columns. So first elementary operation is the interchange of any 2 rows or columns. Symbolically, we can write this operation as Ri interchanging to Rj. This is in terms of rows, whereas in terms of column, Ci interchanging to Cj. I will tell with an example. Let A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a matrix of order 3 cross 2. So this is R1, this row is R2, this row is R3, whereas this is column C1 and this is column C2. Now we apply this operation, that is, I will take R1 interchanging to R3, that is you have to write in the place of R1 the third row and in the place of third row you have to write the first row. So the resultant matrix will be, the third row becomes the first, that is 5, 6, second row as it is, and the third row 1. So this is the resultant matrix after applying this elementary operation. Now for column, I will do C1 interchanging to C2. So C1 and C2, you have to interchange these two. So the resultant matrix is, second column becomes the first column and the first column you have to write it in the place of second. So this is regarding the first elementary operation, that is you have to interchange any 2 rows or any 2 columns. Now the second elementary operation, that is the multiplication of the elements of any row or column by a non-zero number. That is, symbolically we can write this elementary operation as Ri interchanging to K times Ri, or in terms of column, that is Ci interchanging to K into C, where K is a non-zero number. I will explain with an example. Let the matrix B 1, 0, 5, 2, 3, 1, 4, 5, 7. It is a matrix of order 3 cross 3. I will change the element or elements of R1. So I will do the operation R1 goes to, or R1 interchanging to 2 times R1. That is, you have to multiply the number 2 to each element of the first row. So the resultant matrix is 2 into 1, 2, 2 into 0, 0, 2 into 5, 10. So this is the first row. The multiply the second column by the number 1 by 2. So the resultant matrix, first column and third column as it is. That is first column 1, 2, 4. Third column 5, 1, 7. Now the second column you have to multiply half. That is 0 into half, 0. 3 into half, 3 by 2, and 5 into half, 5 by 2. So this is regarding the second elementary operation, that is the multiplication of the elements of any row or column by a non-zero number. Now the third elementary operation, that is the addition to the elements of any row or column, the corresponding elements of any other row or column multiplied by a non-zero number. This operation symbolically can be written as Ri interchanging to Ri plus K times Rj. So you have to multiply a scalar to the jth row, then you have to add the corresponding elements to the elements of the ith row. So Ri interchanging to Ri plus K times Rj, whereas the column operation is Ci interchanging to Ci plus K times 6. For example, if matrix is 1, 2, 3, 4, it is a 2 cross 2 matrix. I will do the operation R1 goes to R1 plus 2R2. That is, you have to multiply 2 to the second row, then you have to multiply the corresponding elements of R1 and you have to change the first row. So the first element should be of the form 1 plus 2 into the corresponding element of R2, that is 3. So 1 plus 2 into 3. Here R1 is the element present in R1 is 2 plus 2 into the corresponding element in R2, that is 2 plus 2 into 4. The second row as it is. So the resultant matrix is 2 into 3, 6, 6 plus 1, 7. Here 4 into 2, 8 plus 2, 10. And 3. So this is regarding the third. Similarly, we can do the column operation. So these three are the elementary operations. Now, the next definition is invertible matrix. Suppose A is a square matrix of order n cross n, then there exists another matrix B of same order, that is order m cross n, such that AB is equal to BA, which is equal to identity element. Then matrix A is said to be invertible and matrix B is called as inverse of A. If A is a square matrix of order n cross n, then there exists another square matrix B of same order such that AB is equal to BA, which is equal to I, then A is said to be invertible and the matrix B is called as inverse of A, and it is denoted by B equal to A inverse. From the definition, we can say that there exists inverses for only square matrix but not for rectangle. The reason is, if matrix A is rectangle matrix, then AB need not be equal to B. So, only the square matrices have inverses. This is regarding invertible matrix. I will take one example. If A is equal to 2, 3, 1, 2 and matrix B 2, minus 3, minus 1, 2. Now we will check whether this B is inverse of A. So that the condition required is AB equal to BA, which is equal to identity matrix. So first we will find the product AB, that is 2, 3, 1, 2 into 2 minus 3 minus 1, 2. So first row, first column, element wise, then you have to take the sum. So 2 into 2, 4, 3 into minus 1, minus 3. Now first row, second column, 2 into minus 3, minus 6, plus 3 into 2, 6. Now second row, first column, 1 into 2, 2, plus 2 into minus 1, minus 2, 1 into minus 3, minus 3, plus 2 into 2, 4. So the matrix is 4 minus 3, 1, minus 6 plus 6, 0, 2 minus 2, 0, minus 3 plus 4 is 1. So this is the identity matrix. Similarly, we have to find the product BA. Then only we can say that the matrix B is inverse of A. Now we will find matrix BA. So B is 2 minus 3 minus 1, 2 and matrix A 2, 3, 1, 2. Same procedure. First row, first column, 2 into 2, 4 minus 3, 2 into 3, 6, minus 3 into 2, minus 6. Now second row, first column, minus 1 into 2, minus 2, plus 2, minus 1 into 3, minus 3, plus 4. Again, 4 minus 3, 1, 6 minus 6, 0, minus 2 plus 2, 0, minus 3 plus 4, 1. Again we will get identity matrix. From this, we get the condition AB is equal to BA, which is equal to identity matrix. So we can say that matrix B is inverse of A. So these two matrices are inverses of each other. So this is regarding invertible matrix. Now we will prove one theorem. This theorem, we already two theorems are we already proved. The statement is inverse of a square matrix, if it exists, is unique. That is, you have to prove here uniqueness of inverse of a matrix. For this, I will consider let A be a square matrix of order m cross m. Let A be a square matrix of order m cross m. Suppose there exist two inverses of a say matrix B and matrix C. We have to prove here there exists only one inverse. That is, here to prove matrix B is equal to C. So this is the condition we have to prove, and we have the condition A is a square matrix and its inverses are B and C. See, if B is the inverse, if B is the inverse of A, then by the definition of invertible matrix, we can write AB is equal to BA, which is equal to I. Now, we have another inverse. So, if C is the inverse of A, then the condition is AC is equal to CA, which is equal to 1. So these are the conditions by using the definition of A is an invertible matrix. Now we have to prove the condition B equal to C. So for that, consider matrix B. See, we can write matrix B as matrix B into I. Now, we have the condition AC is equal to CA, which is equal to I, and AB equal to BA equal to I. We will take this as equation 1 and equation 2. Now I will use the condition, that is equation 2, that is AC is equal to CA, which is equal to I. So in the place of I will write the condition AC. So in the place of I will write AC. Now it is of this form, associative property. So B into AC can be written as BA into C. Now we use first condition, that is first equation is AB is equal to BA, which is equal to I. So in the place of I we can write, in the place of BA we can write I. So this reduced to I into C. Again now I into C is matrix C. So we get the condition B and C are equal. This leads to the condition that if inverse of a matrix exists, it is unique. So this is theorem 3. Now we will do another theorem, that is theorem 4. The statement is if A and B are invertible matrices of the same order, then AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. If A and B are invertible matrices of the same order, then AB whole inverse equal to B inverse into A inverse. Now we will prove this theorem. The given condition is A and B are invertible. If A and B are invertible, then both A inverse and B inverse exist. So this is by the condition. And we have to prove the condition AB whole inverse equal to B inverse into A inverse. Since they given to prove AB whole inverse equal to B inverse into A inverse. This condition implies inverse of AB exists. From this we can write AB is invertible. Now we have to use the definition of invertible of a matrix. If A is invertible, then A into B equal to BA, which is equal to I. Same condition if I use, we can write matrix AB into its inverse is equal to I. This is by definition of invertible matrix. Since AB is invertible, we can write AB into AB whole inverse is equal to matrix I. Now we will pre-multiply the above equation by A inverse. That's why we have to write A inverse by the left side. That is A inverse into AB into AB whole inverse is equal to A inverse into I. Now already we know that B into I implies B. So A inverse into matrix I is A inverse. At the same time, for this three matrices we have to apply dissociative rule. That is A into BC is AB into C. From that we can write it as A inverse into A into B into AB whole inverse is equal to A inverse into I, which is equal to A inverse. Now A inverse is the inverse of A. Since A is invertible, A inverse into A must be equal to identity matrix into B into AB whole inverse is equal to A inverse. Now matrix I into B is equal to B into matrix AB whole inverse is equal to A inverse. Now similar to this step, that is pre-multiplying by A inverse, here we have to pre-multiply by matrix B inverse. So B inverse into B into AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. Now this B inverse into B we can write as B is invertible into AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. Now I into any matrix, that is the matrix, so we get the condition AB whole inverse equal to B inverse into A inverse. Now we will find how to find A inverse. There are two methods, that is one by elementary row operation. In row operation we have to take A is equal to I into A. Now we have to apply a sequence of row operation to this to get the condition I is equal to B into A. We have A is equal to IA. After applying a sequence of row operation, we will get I is equal to B into A. Then this B is called as A inverse of, or this B is called as A inverse. This is in row operation. Now you can use column operation also. That is, in column operation, we have to take A is equal to A into I. First we have to write A is equal to A into I. Then after applying a sequence of column operations, we will get I is equal to A into B. After applying a sequence of column operation, we will get I is equal to A into B. Then this B is called as inverse of A. So either you can do row operation or column operation. In the middle, if either one row is 0 or a column is full of 0, then A inverse does not exist. After applying a sequence of row operation or a sequence of column operation, if we get a row full of zeros or a column full of zeros, then A inverse does not exist. So we will do some problems regarding this. Find A inverse using elementary operations. The first question is matrix 2, 1, 1. So matrix A is given. You have to find A inverse using elementary operation. Here you can use either row operation or column operation. For that, first I will take the matrix as A. You can do it by any of the methods. First I will use row operations. For that you have to take A is equal to I into A. That is, matrix A is 2, 1, 1, 1. This is equal to, the identity matrix is of the same order as A, that is 2 cross 2. So I is 1, 0, 0, 1 into A. Now we have to apply a sequence of row operation to this condition in order to get I is equal to BA. That is, in the place of A, you have to get identity matrix, and in the place of I, you will get another matrix B. This B is called as A inverse. So this condition should be reduced to I equal to BA. That is, in the place of A, you must have the condition 1, 0, 0, 1. For that, first you have to change this element. That is, this 2 must become I. That is 1, 0, 0, 1. So these 2 must become 1. Here we have in the first row element 2 and in the second row element 1. So we can, if I subtract 2 and 1, we will get 1, right? So I can do the operation R1 you have to change. If I take R1 minus R2, that is, subtract the second row from the first row, that is 2 minus 1, we will get 1. Next element 1 minus 1, we will get 0. The second row as it is 1, 1. Again, here also you have to apply the same operation, that is 1, 0, minus 1, minus 1. Second row as it is. Again compare this matrix with this. Already we get this one. Now this element should be 0. So this element must be 0. So here we have 1. In the first row also we have 1. So if I subtract R2 and R1, that is, you have to change the element of R2. If I do the operation R2 minus R1, that is, you have to subtract R1 from R2, then 1 minus 1 becomes 0. So first row there is no change. Second row you have to apply this operation, that is R2 minus R1. So 1 minus 1, you will get 0. Now 1 minus 0, 1 equal to, again in this side, the right hand side, first row there is no change. So this is 1 minus 1. Second row you have to apply this operation, that is R2 minus R1, that is 0 minus 1, that is minus 1. 1 minus of minus 1, that is 1 plus 1, 2 into A. Now this is of the form I is equal to B into A. So this B is called as now A. So in the place of B we have the matrix 1 minus 1 minus 1 2. So this matrix is called as A in. So this is regarding the row operation. See, first we have to take A is equal to I, A. We have to write the matrix A as it is, and I, it is the identity matrix of the same model as A, into A. And you have to do a sequence of row operations. First, here we have the element 2. This 2 must become 1. So you have to change the first row. So if I subtract the second row from the first row, that is, if I do the operation R1 minus R2, so the element becomes 2 minus 1, 1, 1 minus 1, 0. Similarly here we have the identity matrix. So 1 minus 0, 1, 0 minus 1, minus 1. Second row as it is. Now again compare this matrix with the identity matrix. The first row is already exact similar with the identity matrix. Now we have to change the second row first column element to 0. So we have to change the element of R2. So if I subtract R1 from R2, we will get the exactly same element. So R2 goes to R2 minus R1. So 1 minus 1, 0. 1 minus 0, 1. Again here 0 minus 1, minus 1. 1 minus of minus 1, 2 into A. So this is of the form I is equal to B into A. So this matrix B is called as A image. Now we will do the same problem with the column operation. Using column operation. So in the column operation we have to take A is equal to A into I. So matrix A is 2, 1, 1, 1, and write this A as it is, and matrix I is 1, 0, 0, 1. So here you have to do a sequence of column operation in order to get I is equal to AB. So the matrix must become 1, 0, 0, 1. So this matrix must reduce to 1, 0, 0, 1. See, here in the first column we have the element 2. This 2 must become 1. And in the second column we have the element 1. So if I subtract C2 from C1, that is 2 minus 1, we will get 1 in the this position, correct? So you have to change the element of the first column. If I subtract the second column from the first, that is operation C1 minus C2. The second column changes as 2 minus 1, C1 minus C2. So 2 minus 1, 1, 1 minus 1, 0. Second column there is no change as it is, equal to A into, again here the same condition, that is C1 minus C2. So 1 minus 0, 1, 0 minus 1 minus 1, 0. Now compare this matrix with identity matrix. 1, 0, 1, 0. So this element must become 0. Now we have to change the elements of the second column. Here we have 1 in the second column and 1 in the first column. So if I subtract the C1 from C2, then this element becomes 0. So you have to do the operation, that is C2, you have to change in the second column. So C2 minus C. So first column there is no change. The second column 1 minus 1, 0, 1 minus 0, 1 is equal to A into, again first column there is no change. In the second column 0 minus 1 minus 1, 1 minus of minus 1, 2. Now this condition is of the form I is equal to AB, then this B is called as A inverse. Therefore, A inverse is equal to 1 minus 1 minus 1, 2. Now you can see that in both row and column operation we get same A inverse. So you can either use row operation or column operation. Now you can verify this using the condition verification. If A matrix is given, then the formula to find A inverse is adjoint A by determinant A. Now, if matrix A is equal to A11, A12, A21, A22, so this is a 2 cross 2 matrix, then adjoint A is, we have to interchange the diagonal matrix or diagonal elements. We have to interchange elements of diagonal. So in the place of A11 you have to write A22, and in the place of A22 you have to write A11, and the remaining non-diagonal elements you have to change the sign. If the element present in A12 is plus, then you have to write minus. So this is minus A12 and it is minus A21. So adjoint A of a 2 cross 2 matrix obtained by interchanging the diagonal elements and change the sign of non-diagonal elements. So this is regarding adjoint A. Now we have to find determinant A. So determinant A, this is a symbol for determinant. You will learn this about in the next chapter. So A11, A12, A21, A22. See, matrix is an arrangement, but determinant is a number associated with the matrix. So determinant A is obtained by, you have to find the product of diagonal elements. A11 into A22. Again find the product of non-diagonal elements, that is A21 into A12. Then take the difference. So this value is determinant A. So you have to multiply the elements of the diagonal minus product of the non-diagonal element. So this one is called as determinant A. If when both adjoint A and determinant A is given, then A inverse is find out by the formula adjoint A into determinant A. So now we will use the same for the earlier example. That is A is 2, 1, 1, 1. Now I will directly write the formula, that is A inverse equal to adjoint A into determinant A. Here adjoint A is a matrix obtained by interchanging the diagonal elements. So in the place of 2 you have to write 1, in the place of 1 you have to write 2. Then you have to change the sign of non-diagonal elements, that is in the place of plus 1 you have to write minus 1. Similarly here. So this is adjoint A divided by, you have to find the determinant A. So determinant A means first we have to find the product of diagonal elements minus the product of non-diagonal elements. So product of the diagonal elements 2 into 1 2 minus product of the non-diagonal elements, that is 1 into 1 1. So we get 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. So matrix by 1. This is the same as scalar multiplication. If I multiply 1 to each and every element of the matrix, we get 1 minus 1 minus 1. So this is A inverse. You can verify that, or earlier we got the same matrix as A inverse. So this method is just for verification. And this method holds for only 2 cross 2 matrix. That is, you have to find adjoint A by determinant A. To find adjoint A, you have to interchange the diagonal elements and change the sign of non-diagonal elements. And in order to find determinant A, the procedure is product of the diagonal minus product of the non-diagonal. Once you got both adjoint A and determinant A inverse is obtained by the formula adjoint A by determinant A. So this method is only for verification purpose. If the question is asked like this, that is find the inverse using elementary operation, you have to use this method only, not this. There is one more question. Matrix 1, 3, 2, 7. You can either use row operation or column, but not both. So I will consider the matrix as A. I will use here the row operation. So we have to write A equal to I into A. First write A, that is matrix 1, 3, 2, 7. I 1, 0, 0, 1 into A. You have to change this sequence to I is equal to B into A after applying a sequence of row operation. Now this matrix A must reduce to 1, 0, 0, 1. So compare the elements. See, this position we have already 1, right? So there is no need to change this element. Now the element 2 must become 0. So you have to change R2. So you have to change R2. This R2, the element of R2 must become 0. See, if I just subtract, that is, if I do the operation R2 minus R1, you will get the 2 minus 1, 1. But we have to, or we must have the element as 0, right? So if I do the operation R2 minus to R1. That is the third type of elemental operation. That is Ri goes to Ri plus k times Rj. So first you have to multiply 2 to the first row, then subtract from the second row. See, I will do here. Element of R2 is 2 minus 2 into element of R1, that is 1. Now 2 minus 2 becomes 0. Now for this element, 7 minus 2 into the element of R1 is 3. So 7 minus 6 element is 1. So first row there is no change. In the second row 2 minus 2 it becomes 0 and 7 minus 6 becomes 1 equal to. Now the same operation should be done here also. For that, element of R2 is 0 minus 2 into element of R1 is 1. So 0 minus 2 implies minus 2, and here the element is 1, R2 is 1 minus 2 into R1, that is 0. So 1 minus 0 is 1 into 8. Now Ci 1 0 1. Now you have to change this 3. Now this 3 must become 0. Similar to this you can do. That is, you have to change element of R1. If I multiply 3 to the second row, this one becomes 3. Then subtract from R1. 3 minus 3 it will be 0. So first you have to multiply 3 to the second row, then subtract from the first row. So R1 goes to R1 minus 3 R2. Now 1 element 1 minus 3 into element of R2 is 0. So 1 minus 0 element as it is 1. Now this element is 3 in the first row minus 3 into element of R2 is 1. So 3 minus 3 0. Second row no change, 0 1. Now this matrix, second row there is no difference, minus 2 1. First row, element in R1 is 1 minus 3 into element of R2 is minus 2, that is minus 3 into minus 2 plus 6 1, that is 7. Now element in R1 is 0 minus 3 into element of R2 is 1. So 3 into 1 3, 0 minus 3 minus 3 and 3. Now this is of the form I is equal to B into A. Now this B is called as A inverse. So this is using row operation. You can use column operation also. Now we will verify whether this A inverse is correct or not. For that, you have to find adjoint A and determinant A. So this adjoint A, you have to interchange the diagonal element. So in the place of 1 you have to write 7, and in the place of 7 you have to write 1, and you have to interchange, change the sign of non-diagonal, that is plus 3 becomes minus 3 and plus 2 becomes minus 2 divided by determinant A. So determinant A means it is the product of diagonal, it is 1 into 7, 7 minus the product of non-diagonal, that is 2 into 3, 6. So 7 minus 6, 1. So A inverse is 7 minus 3 minus 2. So this A inverse and this A inverse are same. So the answer is correct. minus 3, minus 2, 1. You can either use row or column. I will use column operation. So you have to write A is equal to A into I. That is A is 6 minus 3 minus 2 1. A, and this is 1 0 0. So this must be converted to the form I is equal to A into B. That is, this matrix must reduce to 1 0 0 1. Now, the element present in the first column is 6 and element present in the second column is minus 3. So, you have to change this element as how much? This element as 1. So, if I do the operation, you have to change C1. Here the element present is 6. So if I divide the element by 6, or it is same as 1 by 6 times C1, where 1 by 6 is a scalar. So this operation is same as Ci goes to K times Ci. Then the matrix reduced to 6 by 6, 1, minus 2 into 1 by 6, that is minus 1 by 3, and this is minus 3, and this is 1. So you have to change only the first column equal to A into, again do the same operation for this matrix also. So 1 into 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 0 into 1 by 6, 0, 0. Now you have to change this element. Now you have to change this element to 0. So you have to change or do this element to 0. So here in the second column we have minus 3. In the first column we have 1. So you have to change C2. If I multiply 3 to the first column, then add it to the second, we have this element as 0. So I will do the operation. C2 goes to, first you have to multiply 3 to first column, then add it to the second. So first column there is no change, and the second column, in the second column we have minus 3 plus 3 into the first column, that is 1. So minus 3 plus 3, 0. Similarly, in the second column we have 1 plus 3 into the element of the first column is minus 3. So it is 1 minus 1 because the 3 getting cancelled. So 1 minus 1, 0 is equal to A into, again first column as it is 1 by 6, 0. The second column elements are 0 and 1. So 0 plus 3 into 1 by 6, that is 3 by 6, element is 1 by 2, and here 1 plus 3 into 0, so answer is 1. Now already earlier I said, if either a row is full of zeros or a column full of zeros, then A inverse does not exist. So here I got a column full of zeros, so A inverse does not exist. Why this A inverse does not exist? we have the formula A inverse equal to adjoint A by determinant A. So if I have determinant A equal to 0, then some matrix by 0, it is not defined, right? So if determinant A equal to 0, then A inverse does not exist. You can verify here. The matrix A is here matrix A is 6 minus 3 minus 2 1. Here with determinant A value, that is product of diagonal element minus the product of the non-diagonal, that is minus 2 into minus 3 plus 6. So 6 minus 6 is 0. Since the determinant A is 0, some matrix by 0 is not defined. So here A inverse does not exist. So if I get a row full of 0 or a column full of 0 after applying elementary operation, then A inverse does not exist. Now there are some homework questions. Using elementary operations, find inverse. First one, 1 minus 1, 2, 3. Second one, 2, 1, 7, 4. And third one, 2, 1,